Hey up guys, welcome to Speak and Recover. Today I wanted to talk about inventory, taking inventory and just having a daily check-in with yourself. So if you're in recovery or you want to get into recovery or you're thinking about recovery, you know, some of these questions that I'm going to ask you might get your brain thinking and might just make you think about where you're going, maybe stagnant in your recovery. You know, you might ask yourself a few of these questions and just think, you know what, I've not done that for a while. And you know, when I read these questions myself, I was like, yeah, man, you know, these are questions that I just completely forget to ask myself. But definitely put my ass back in check when it comes to my perception, when it comes to asking myself what's important for me in my recovery, and some questions that I should be asking myself quite regularly. And you know, I come across this leaflet in a fellowship, and it's called Living the Program. And I thought I'd just share this with some people because I thought I read it and I thought, wow, you know, I've been around a couple of years now, you know, and I've not read this, and let's just get through this, you know what I mean? Let's just have a read through this, and sort of like, if there's any questions that you want to ask in the comments, you know, or you want to answer in the comments, feel free to put the answers in. But these questions, after asking myself these consistently for quite a few days now, you know, I felt that sort of little bit of a lift in my soul, you know what I mean? And just feel a bit more ease in myself, you know, when it's like having that daily check-in, you know, just spending that couple of times of the evening, checking in with myself. And it's okay, you know, it's not extensive, it's not overbearing, it's not like a massive, oh my God, I've got to get home and do this, you know, it's not like a massive caseload of work. It's just a quick check-in, and I think it's beautiful how it's managed to sort of like, I'd say, get me through quite a period of, or a chapter of my life, which has been quite difficult for me when it's come to change, if I'm honest. And I hope that this will get some benefits from you. And if you need a leaflet or you need me to think, you can always rewind in this video and sort of ask yourself the questions yet again. So here we go. I'm just going to get straight into it because I think it's quite cool, man. Am I clean today? Well, you know, some of you might not be, do you know what I mean? Some people might not be clean today, but I'm clean today, and I think that that's important, you know. But getting clean is your first priority, you know. And I hope that you can get a day in and maybe, you know, asking yourself a few questions and going through these few questions in this, what we're going to go through, maybe you might be able to get your first day in as well. And if you do need help and you do need to reach out, please don't hesitate to contact me in the comments, and I will try to direct you as best I possibly can. Have I acted differently today? See, that's a question that I never asked myself, you know, and it makes me think about my day. Have I been acting a bit strange? Did I act differently around a certain person? Did I act differently because of a situation in my life? And, you know, it's a good question. Did my disease run my life today? If so, how? Now, when it comes to drug addiction or alcoholism, you know, when it comes to importance of asking you that question, it's like, have I been constantly thinking about something? Have I been constantly thinking about, like, have I been obsessed and compulsed over any particular area in my life, or any substance, or any sort of the need to use a substance? Have I been obsessed over a certain person or a certain feeling? I've been concentrating on how I feel and how I'm thinking. These are all obsessions and compulsions. And when I'm in that state or that frame of mind, usually my life is being run by something that's not me, because that's not my normal state. I can elaborate on that question all day long, but I don't think it will be of any benefit. If you do require any information or more connection on that question, as I said, feel free to comment in the thingies. What did I do today I wish I had not done? It's like, it makes you think, doesn't it, sometimes? You know, what have I done today? What do you wish that I never done? Well, you know, I can't really answer that question, because there's not really something that I've wished I'd not have done. You know, now if I'd have used or been just sat wasting my day thinking about wanting to use, or just been sat in my own head all day and I just wasted my day, you know, and then there'd be probably some of the things that I'd wished I'd never done. But, you know, for me, today is just like a nice standard day. I've been to a meeting this morning, you know, and I did my morning routine, and I've been out with a dog, and, you know, I've had quite a fulfilling, peaceful, relaxing day, and, you know, I've not been massively overly boringly productive, you know what I mean, but I've had some nice rest, you know, and today I don't think I've done anything that I wish that I'd not have done, you know. But, you know, maybe that question is, have I left something undone that I wish I had done? Not really. Not really, you know, and the reality of that is I had a million and one ideas of what I wanted to be doing today, but I just did the bare necessities of what I needed to do. That was go to a meeting, connect with some friends, read a bit of literature, pray and meditate, relax, get a bit of sunshine, and some good food and some good rest. You know, it's weekend. You know, what else is there to do? You know, and usually I'd have loads of responsibilities, but my responsibility today is to just look after myself, you know, and it's got a bit easy with me, you know, and that's a question that I think that I'd like to be asking myself a little bit more. Was I good to myself today? You better believe that I've been good to myself today. You know, I've just been relaxed, and, you know, and being good to yourself isn't always about buying yourself something nice. It isn't always about treating yourself. It isn't always about going to the gym. It's about how are you speaking to yourself? What is your attitude toward yourself? How do you see yourself? You know, how are you speaking towards yourself, and how are you treating yourself? You know, and when you become aware of this, it's sort of like it become quite difficult, because I can be really overbearing with myself. I can be giving myself a really hard time on a day, which would be really easy. You know, I can sit around relaxing all day, but actually give myself an hard time about sitting around and not doing nothing. And this is like, it's not stillness, is it? You know, it's not peaceful. You know, it's not good. It's not productive to be sat talking to myself in a manner of which, you know, this is a good question. This is a very good question that I think that you should ask yourself regularly. If somebody else was speaking to me the way I spoke to myself, would I say something to them, or would I have them in? Would I still be their friend? And I'll tell you what, if someone spoke to me the way I spoke to myself, I definitely wouldn't be the friend. They'd be getting a crack, yeah? Right? And that's just honesty, you know, and, you know, simple stuff in it, you know, that these are questions that we don't ask ourselves, not in here, but that's just what I ask myself. I've been good to myself. How? I've been good to myself because I've not given myself a hard time. Today I've not given myself a hard time, you know, for not really doing too much, you know, for relaxing. I've been able to chill out and just take the day as it comes, and it's been nice, you know. And was today a good day? Well, we're only about halfway through the day, and, you know, I decided to come on and sort of like, you know, give my experience and make a video and hopefully connect with some people on this platform. And today has been a good day. You know, I've been a little bit productive. You know, these are things that you're asking yourself. You know, have I done something good today? You know, have I done something for my recovery today? Have I done something good for myself today? Have I treated myself nicely today? Was I happy? Am I happy? You know, I wouldn't say I'm happy. I'm not dancing around my front room like singing and whistling, but, you know, I'm content. I'm all right. You know what I mean? It's nothing. But yeah, I'm all right. Am I serene? Well, serenity. Oh, this ties in with serenity. Has my thinking been funky? You know, have I been thinking weird stuff? Or am I just okay with today? Am I okay with me today? You know, and that's what serenity is for me, you know. When I've got this ability to see clearly, I'm not constantly like looking into the future, or constantly thinking about yesterday, or constantly doing other people's thinking for them, and running situations and scenarios in my head, and thinking, oh, well, they don't like me and I shouldn't go there, and that person doesn't want me to ring them, I shouldn't be disturbing that person, and they don't want to know all my problems. And, you know, this unstillness of turmoil, this mental, because that's what it is. You know, when it comes to the disease of addiction, it comes to alcoholism, it centers in the mind. You know, it's this is most of the questions that I'm asking myself. I'm going through. I'm applying it to basically my thought life and my feeling life. You know, and it says, just for today, I will have faith in someone who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. You know, did I talk to my sponsor today? Now, a sponsor is somebody that you can just ring now and again and sort of like confide in. Now, you might not be in recovery, you might not be part of a 12-step fellowship, you might not have a sponsor, but you might have a best friend, you might have a girlfriend, a partner, you might have a mum or a sibling or, you know, someone that you just trust in. You know, have you spoke to them today and it's gone, and just not been sat with yourself, basically, you know, because when I'm all right sat with myself, but not for long, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to sit with myself for more than 2-3 days, you know, because then I'm sort of like isolating, you know, and have I spoke to somebody, and not only have I spoke to somebody, and like gone, you know what, this is how I feel today, and this is how I'm thinking today, you know, and it's important to sort of keep that connection between you and somebody else and keep that outside in and that inside out, you know what I mean? Keep the flow in and out, you know, keep the door open, so to speak. What is it, metaphorically? Did I attend a meeting today? Well, I did this morning. You know, you can, and there's loads of meetings online. You know, I did 2 yesterday. I went on to an online meeting because I just fancied it. Something different, and there's always meetings running day and night. And if you need any information on how to get onto them meetings, just put a comment in the thing, and I'll put the links in, and then we can direct you to your first meeting if you wish. Well, mine was in like the Preston, Lancashire area. Did I share my experience, strength and hope? Well, yeah, I did. You know, I always do when I go to a meeting. I always open my mouth, because that's important. You know, I always express myself. Always important. And I think it's a really good tool for staying clean and staying content and staying serene and positive. You know, when you're talking, and also it allows other people to know where you're at, so that when you do require help, somebody knows where you're at, and they can sort of like go, you know what, here's what happened to me, or this is how I feel, and you can sort of like connect that way. Who are the people that in my life that I trust today? You know, I trust quite a few people, and it says who has trust in me. A lot of people have trust in me today, you know what I mean? Because I'm really grateful to that. But in the beginning, I didn't really trust anyone, and learning how to trust somebody was quite difficult, you know. Learning to pick that one person just to sort of like start to opening up to, it wasn't normal for me in the beginning, and that's okay, you know, that's okay. You don't have to start telling everybody your deepest, darkest secrets, you know, when you've only known them fucking 6 weeks. You know, but it's important to sort of like, you know, give someone a good idea, engage them of where you're at. You know, it's like just try and open up a little bit, trust in the process of becoming trusting. And once you start to confide in someone, you know, usually they will also start to reciprocate that. And it's a beautiful process when you get some good friends and you start to build that relationship based on trust. Did I read from the literature today? Do you know what? When I went to the meeting, I read step 1 today. It was a step 1 reading. It was a beautiful reading as always. And I've obviously do a lot more reading. Yeah, I've got books just literally everywhere in my house, and I always read literature because I always like to stay in touch with the reality of where I've come from and the reality of the progressive illness in which I can suffer from if I turn the blind eye to this. Because alcoholism and drug addiction is an illness that needs an application of medicine, which is a 12-step program. It needs application of some sort of solution, and this is my solution, which, yes, I did read literature today. If you need some sort of literature to educate yourself on, maybe you are suffering with drug addiction or alcoholism, or you suffering with drug use or misuse, maybe, just maybe, you might find the education or the information within inside a 12-step fellowship that might help you to understand in what you are suffering with. And also, if you comment in the comments, I can direct you into the right path of having some sort of solution and finding some people that might support you in what you suffer with. What step did I consciously work today? Well, I worked more steps, to be fair. 1, 2, and 3 was a definite. And if you're not into the steps, all I can suggest is that you try, or research what a 12-step program is, and you might actually get there. But did I work steps today? It's quite a personal message. It's quite a personal question, but usually if I'm working a step 1, 2, and 3, a step 10 and 11, and a step 12, usually I'm doing all right. I'm pretty smooth with that. Did I admit I was powerless today? Well, just by going to a meeting, just by getting on my hands and knees this morning and praying, meditating, reading some literature, ringing some other people, that's me admitting that I was powerless over what I suffer with today, and getting through that day, getting through today is just going, this is, I'm not alone, I'm not on my own. And it doesn't mean that I'm powerless. It means that I don't become powerless, because once I'm around this stuff for quite a while, I will attain some sort of power that will help me to stay clean. Was I able to put trust in my higher power today? I just put the action in. I get up and I read literature. I go to meetings. I try to help everybody that I possibly can within my means. I try to carry a message. I try to stay positive. I pray and I meditate and I do the action, and the results are not mine. I put the results into the hands of my higher power. I do the action and I leave the results up to him. It's like anything else. That's what my trust is. I do something, I put the action in, I stop taking drugs, and I stop doing this, and I start going to meetings, and I start putting my hands and my life into the care of maybe someone else in the fellowship, or into a meeting, or my time and attention into my recovery, and the results of that are not down to me. That's my trust in a higher power. So yeah, definitely. Did I learn anything about myself today? Yeah, I did learn something about myself today. And that was that it's okay. It's okay to just sit and do nothing. It's okay to relax. It's okay not to be so serious all the bloody time. I'm taking life too bloody seriously, because I can do me, and it can be an asset, but it can also be very, very detrimental to my mental health. When I'm really, really going, you need this and you need to do that, and I'm like a bloody robot. I'm taking life too bloody seriously. That's what I've learned about myself today. Did I make an amends? Well, my amends, right, is like, I've already gone through the amends process, and maybe many of us already have, but basically it's going back and righting the wrongs of your past. But I stand on my amends today. I keep doing what I'm doing. I always keep doing what I'm doing. I will always continue to keep doing what I'm doing, because that's what keeps me well, keeps me fit, keeps me serene, keeps me healthy. It keeps me in the game, keeps me in a position to allow God into my life, to direct my thinking and my thought life. It allows me to live free in the here and now without the use of any alcohol or substances. That's my amends to me today. Getting up and going to a meeting, looking for service, looking for people that can help, being creative, coming online, making a video and being of service to somebody else that might need it. That's my amends. Do I owe any? This is a lifelong work for me. Coming online and helping other people that suffer with the same thing that I suffer with, and come from the same place that I come from. When I found myself in that really dark place of drug addiction and alcohol abuse and substance abuse, and looking at, psychiatric help, and thinking of taking my own life, and being at the bitter ends, and the end of the road for me. And when I found myself in that place, I decided to turn my life around, and dedicate my life to helping other people, and hopefully try my best to make sure that nobody else within my power goes to the same places and depths and despair that I went to. That's just me personally. Did I admit fault to anyone today? Well, I didn't really do anything wrong. You know, I've not done anything wrong today. I've not done anything wrong for a long time due to the spiritual principles of living a program and working and doing these things every single day. You know, I'm a good person today, and we all are good people. You know, maybe we've made a few mistakes, but that does not make you a bad person. It's like, once you take responsibility for your wrongs and you start to take action towards a new way of living, that's what you're doing, you know. And it's like, I'm okay today. I'm not done anything wrong today. Did I worry about yesterday or tomorrow? Not really, you know, not really. I Sunday tomorrow, so I'm quite happy with just, you know, there's a few things that I do that come into my head. You know, there's a few things, thoughts and feelings that come into my head when it comes about next week or yesterday or what I did before, and whether that person thinks this, you know, the usual stuff. But it doesn't consume me now. It used to in the beginning, very early on in recovery. I would notice that most of my thinking was always based in the future, or always, and when I'd think about the past, it'd make me feel worse, you know, because I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And I can't believe, my mind would always remind me of like negative stuff that would hold guilt and shame and remorse and stuff that needed repairing, you know. And then when it would finish, like, giving me a dose of my past and creating feelings inside myself, it'd come and start flashing imagery of fantasy of the future, you know, and unrealistic expectations of myself, and, you know, and it'd leave me in turmoil. Prayer and meditation really helped me with that, by the way, and learning to live just for today, or just in the moment, or keeping it simple, as they say. Can I accept myself as I am today? Now, that is a really big question. You know, am I comfortable with who I am? Big questions, these questions, you know, and these are questions that I've not asked myself for a long time, and I've been around recovery for quite a bit, you know, and these are big questions, and I like that question when I come to it, because I'm like, hang on a minute, am I okay with who I am? Is my sensual desire for improvement healthy? You know, because if my sensual desire for improvement is unhealthy, that can lead to a point of contact to where I am now looking at myself in an unhealthy manner, which means that I am not accepting of myself. Give you something to think about that. And if you wanted to talk about that and you wanted to come on and talk about that, then feel free to do so. I'd love to discuss that matter with you, you know, when it comes to having that self-acceptance. Did I feel that I was part of humanity today? I'm a productive member of society today. I work, you know, I go out, I'm a service to people, you know, I can hold a conversation with random strangers, I smile, I wave, I say hello, try to stay connected. And usually, you know, when I'm not doing this stuff, I went for a walk this morning, I walked past other people walking a dog, and I go, hiya, good morning, you have a nice day. And it's as simple as that, you know, and when I start doing that, I feel connected. It's as simple as things like that can make you feel part of humanity. Go out for a walk, right? Good advice is that I got in at the beginning of my recovery. Go out for a walk and start with, morning, next person, morning, next person, morning, next person, like, morning, how are you? And it's like, yeah, good, yeah, me, thank you, bye. Next person, good morning, hope you have a nice day. And it sort of like can get more and more progressive, and it really opens that door up and stops you from, you know, just that random sparked up conversation on a dog walk or in the queue getting milk at Tesco's. It is like, it's a really big thing for me, especially when I've been on my own for a couple of days. Did I allow myself to become obsessed by anything today? No, I didn't, you know, but I can sit there looking for new care, filling my basket up on YouTube, you know, Temu, all that, you know, proper in it, you know what I mean? Proper having a good look at, like, oh, I need this. You know what, right? I was speaking to someone about this today, in a minute, like I go into B&M Bargains me for something simple. Come on, have a trolley load of stuff. It's like, oh, I need that. Could do with that. That would be nice. And anyway, rambling on. But no, I've not been obsessed about anything today. What has God given me to be grateful for today? Well, opportunity. I've got opportunity today. I've got an array of beautiful things, and I never used to have an array of beautiful things. And when I did have an array of beautiful things, and I've been quite fortunate actually. It didn't really mean anything to me when I was suffering from drug addiction and I couldn't stop using. None of it meant anything to me, and I'm just being real. I'm just being very real. Now I've got an abundance of things that I'm really appreciative for. I've got my health, and these are all things, and it's like, if you've got life in your body and you've got opportunity, you've got a roof over your head and clothes on your back, and you're clean, and I mean clean, I'm not mean like clean, but even just you've got the ability to get clean, like have a shower, brush your teeth, wash your clothes. And, I am more than, it's like, I woke up this morning and I have got an option of more than one pair of shoes. I've got the option of more than one mode of transport. I've got a driver's license. I've got a job. My daughter loves me and I've got her in my life. Little things like this. I've got running water. I've got bills. I've got bills to pay that I paid. And little things like this. So I've got a lot of things in my life today. These are things that you want to ask yourself. Have I done anything to cause harm to myself or any others today? No, I haven't. I've been really good today, and it's not always the case. Let's get real. I can be a dick sometimes, and sometimes I can be quite selfish and quite thoughtless, so to speak. But my biggest one is I find it easier to be okay with everybody else, but sometimes I find it difficult not giving myself a hard time. So, where are we? Did I cause harm to myself? No, I haven't caused harm to myself either. I've been quite all right to myself today. My head has been sort of like, it does start. You need to go to the gym. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to be here. And when I don't do it, it starts talking to me negatively about not doing it. And I hope you can sort of like get that, but learning to just be still and do nothing and be okay with just being okay with doing nothing is like a really big thing in itself. And, so that's a no for me. But if you have caused harm to yourself, just remember that, this isn't like a questionnaire to find more reasons to give yourself a hard time. If you give yourself a hard time, just go, all right, where can I improve on that tomorrow? What if I didn't do that today, that's what I've done today. Let's try not to do as much of that tomorrow. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope that is clear. Am I willing to change today? I'm always willing to change. Whether I do change is another thing, but I'm always willing to change. Willingness takes action. It's like, I'm always like, yeah, I know, I know. And then I'll change, and I'm always willing. I'm always trying to stay willing to change, because basically I'm just slowing the process down of spiritual growth, in other words, and change isn't always easy, and change isn't always positive. Yeah? Got to remember that. Change is not always positive. I can change by putting on 30 stone. It's not positive change, is it? It's like change, but it's not positive change. Now, have I changed good? Have I changed bad? These are things that I want to be looking at. Did I pray or meditate today? I did both. I spent a good half an hour in the garden before in the sunshine and nearly fell asleep, to be honest. And I prayed this morning. Very effective tools when it comes to stilling the mind and having some sort of peace and serenity throughout your day. Many forms of meditation. If you want some guidance towards meditation, there's a little meditation guide in one of the videos that I've put on the YouTube channel if you want to go into that. How did this affect my life? Well, it gave me some peace and serenity, and I got a little bit of a tan in my garden as well. Look, I feel all right, yeah. And it's made me feel okay with being me today. What spiritual principles have I been able to practice in my life today? Patience, love, tolerance, understanding, self-care, self-love, persistence, participation, humility, many other spiritual principles. And spiritual principles is just anything that's loving and kind towards yourself. Do you feel part of life? Am I feeling very nice and understanding, and do I have a good perspective on things and life in the whole? Generally, do I have a good perspective on life itself? Now, this is a good if you're not clued up on spiritual principles, just research what the spiritual principles are of the 12-step program. It'll tell you. Was the most important thing in my life staying clean? Not today, because I've been clean for a long time, but going to a meeting, staying well was one of the things. But if you're new around to recovery, right, you're new around to this way of life, and you're trying to find a new way to live, I think it's important that your first priority is to stay clean or get clean. Blessings. I'm sending blessings out to anybody that needs that first thing, because I know how difficult it is, but you're not on your own. And I hope that this time tomorrow, after seeing this video, maybe you could have your first day in, and I'll pray for you. If you need praying for, please leave your name in the comments, and I will quite happily put my head on the Bible in the morning. I'll quite happily send a prayer out for you and hopefully get you another day clean. But my most important thing for me today was to put some action in towards my recovery, to hope that I can stay in that long game, that long fight, because this isn't just about staying clean today. It's about staying clean long term as well, because once I learn how to get clean, and once I learn how to, not use the first one, that's where my recovery begins. In the beginning of recovery, it's just all about not using. And then after a while, it's about trying to maintain some sort of spiritual wealth, and trying to maintain some spiritual fitness and health, you know what I mean, and grow and be a good person and heal, and really get into the roots. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, it's good stuff. I love recovery. Have I given to myself today without expectations of anything in return? Have I given of myself? Yeah, I went to the meeting today, and I just throw myself into a meeting, and it's like, I'm here, and for the next hour, I'm just going to ask everybody how they are, and I'm going to be interested in everybody else, and I'm going to put my time and attention into everything else that isn't me, and I'm going to contact that person, how are you, and I'm going to be the first person to pick up that book, and be the first person to be and really get involved with life, and get me out of the way of me. And I'm not going to have any expectation. I'm going to be a good person regardless of how people treat me. I will be me, naturally be me, regardless of how other people are treating me. Were there fear in my life today? No, not really. Not really. Fear can be quite subliminal, can't it? We can have healthy fears as well. But sometimes, let's just say if you are worried about using and stuff, I just want you to know that you're not the only person that can feel in that state of mind, and fear can always be helped with a bit of prayer and a bit of meditation, some conscious contact, a bit of connection, speaking to someone else about it if you are suffering from some sort of fear or something that feels like it's blocking you off from moving forward. Make some connections, man. Talk to someone about it, pray about it, ask for courage and ask for guidance, and sort of like, put some action in, because you'll always feel more fearful when you're on your own. And if you are on your own and you feel like you're only doing this on your own, maybe that's why you feel fearful, because you're alone. When I've got an army of a couple of my mates behind me that want the best for me, and they support me in what I'm doing, I don't feel as fearful when it comes to facing life. Did I feel intense pain, or joy or pain? I know, what, I haven't today. I feel joyful sometimes, I feel quite happy today. It's not been like one of them days but yesterday, I had a great good laugh yesterday with my mates. And, I didn't feel intense pain today. But, you know, maybe some of us do, maybe some of us don't. But, you know, have I felt that today? No, but I felt an array of other emotions and an array of other feelings, you know, contentment, and, you know, I felt relaxed. And it's like, these are things that are good questions. Did I call or visit someone in the programme today? Well, I went to a meeting. I've rang my mate. I'm going to ring him back in a bit again. We'll have a chat. That's important. Basically, have I contacted someone today? Have I spoke to someone today? If I've been on my own all day and I'm just sat by myself, then I need to call someone, basically. That's what it's saying to me. You know, get in touch with somebody, man. Not only is that good for you, it might be good for them. You know, because I didn't realise, like, I'd be sat fucking on my own all day, thinking about myself all day, you know, feeling a bit... And I'd ring someone else and like, oh, mate, nice one for ringing, because I'm feeling a bit like this today. Before you know it, you're having a good... your feelings have changed and you feel a bit better. They feel a bit better. Did I pray for the well-being of someone else today? I always do that. I always pray for family, friends, close by. I always pray for other people that are not so close by. I pray for loved ones and people that I've known in the past, and I hope that people are doing well and stuff, and I always do that. And I know that my higher power will return that. So I never really pray for myself, and yeah, so just going, you know, I wish that person a nice day today. I hope that person's okay. I hope that person's well. I hope that person gets better. I hope that person stops doing such a whatever, and etc. etc. You know, and just spending them couple of minutes sitting and reflecting and pushing positive thoughts out of my mind, you know, just like reciprocating love, you know, sending that by, you know, I pray and I pray that my daughter has a beautiful day today at school, and I pray that such a person is well, and you know, always helps direct my thinking from what can sometimes be quite negative to a positive state of mind. Was I happy today? You know what? I'm all right. Yeah, I'm quite happy. Have I been peaceful today? Yeah, I've been very peaceful today. I'm not peaceful. What is peace? Peaceful, right, means the ability to just relax, man. Be okay with being you. Are you okay with being you? That's what peaceful is. Did I consciously remember that I have a choice today? You have a choice to make. I have a choice to make decisions based on what I want to do, you know, because when I was in active addiction, I didn't have a choice. My weekends was just consumed by a whirlwind of using, you know, just a whirlwind of the need to get drugs, the need to find more, the need to all that stuff. And I've got a choice today. I've got a choice to be a good person. I've got a choice to pick up the phone. I've got a choice to go to a meeting. I've got a choice to apply something to myself that is going to make me a fuller, richer, happier person in my own skin. And now I hope that somebody's got something from this, and thank you for going through a daily inventory of living the programme with me, Neil Redmond, on Speak and Recover. Thank you, guys. And if anybody else needs to go through these questions, feel free to forward it to them, and we could talk about this together, and we can now recover together. And on this platform, feel free to communicate with me personally, and I would love to talk and hear from you soon. Thanks, guys. Hit me up, subscribe in the comments, and if any of this content is of any interest to you or you found any benefits from it, I'd really appreciate your support. Thanks, guys, and have a beautiful day. Stay blessed.